Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. So on today's episode, we're going to be making for a viewer and fellow Facebook friend a T-nut for a compound, or for his compound, for a quick change tool post that he got. Now he sent me some dimensions, said hey, can you make me one? He does not have access to a mill. Now he had made some suggestions, hey, why don't you try this in the lathe and this and that and the other, and you could. I don't have a milling attachment for my lathe because I've always had either my mini mill or now, you guys know, Bridget behind me, my Bridgeport. So we've got a piece of, and I just cleaned it up. I did a little bit of surface grinding on it this morning just to get a flat side on it because it was just some bar stock and bandsaw cut on one side, and I've run the mill down the other, just trying to figure out what type of metal it is. Probably some 1018, could be it acts like a lot A36, could be 1018, anyway, mild steel. So we're going to go ahead and check it first. We're going to square it up, but I want to, just out of curiosity, so I know how hard this stuff is, let's go ahead and check it with our hardness tester so we can see, because unknown type of material, bar stock, machine's pretty good, grind's pretty good. So let me get my tester out and let's see what it is. And this, the reason I wanted to test it for its hardness is obviously I want to see how hard it is because it's unknown type of metal. My PTC 316, you guys, these are handy to have. Here's case in point of, let's see, does this need to be hardened? So I've talked about this before. They're calibrated special tool. No, this is not a, it's just like a spring load, well, it's a spring loaded punch, but it's got a special tip that they use on the end. So what we're going to do, we got it on a solid surface, the mill table. It's solid enough here, nothing's going to move. Now we're just going to go ahead right in the middle of this thing because I've cleaned up a ground surface. And let's go ahead and do a, okay, the little dot. And then you turn this on. And it's easier for me, I found, if I take my glasses off, just because how this thing, you've got to get it right over the dot and you've got to really hold still. I have found before it's really handy. Okay. So this stuff is really soft. Alright. We're 20. So right now it is not hardened. And that's fine. So we'll go ahead. This can definitely be hardened. It ground pretty easy. The sparks weren't like they normally are on hardened stuff. So that's, now we know, okay, this can be hardened. Plus we've done a test and it's just a little spot right in the middle on what I'm going to call, well, actually I'll do one off to the side. Let's go ahead and do that while we're at it before we start doing all this other stuff. Because that's essentially, I've got to drill a hole in the middle. So your habit of having to do stuff right in the middle, we're going to have to drill and tap a 14 millimeter, I believe, 1 or 1. I've got the dimensions in my pocket. So we'll just move over here to the side a little bit from it. Okay. Let's just check it again just to make sure. Make sure the reading didn't change. Don't think it has, but we made a new spot, so let's check it. Same reading. Yeah, we're 20. We're soft. Okay. So there was no mistake. It is soft material. It can be hardened. We are going to harden this when we get done, and we're going to heat treat it. Because this is going to be a lot of stress on here. And it being soft material, repeated tightening and loosening, it'll pull the threads. And I told him, hey, if I need to harden it, I'll harden it. And that's a plus if you always can. So we got one side squared up in the mill. I'll go ahead and move you guys over here. And this will be a couple of videos. I'll show you through the whole process. I've got my fan and air conditioner going because it is summertime. Not complaining, I do love the heat, but you got to stay hydrated and stay cool. So we've already got one side done. Let's just go ahead and endo it here. And our dimensions width wise, because I hadn't pulled up here, let's see. So the dimensions on this, it needs to be 580,000 is what he gave me, 0.580 tall. It needs to be 2.125 inches long and 1.44 inches wide. So 1.44, let's go ahead and mark that off, and we're just going to mill a lot of this off right off the side while we got it set this way. And then we'll flip it, and then we'll go ahead and, well, actually, let's square up all 4 sides before we start creating dimensions. That way we're square. So this was the bandsaw cut side, and I've still got the 2 factory sides from it being extruded. So we'll go ahead, let's get this squared up first before we start making dimensions. We'll just do a bandsaw cut. I'll go ahead and turn the phase converter on here. Alright, start the mill. We're just going to come over here and just do some basic machining. Now if I set you guys on this side of me over here, you'll get wind noise from the camera. So that's why I found that's a pretty good area right there. Oh, trying to lift out of there. It's not good. Crank down on it some more. Alright, because that's not cranking even. Let's do the old aluminum rod trick so I keep some handy. Just for stuff like this. Alright. We are on parallels, but go ahead. Squish it down good. And we are on parallels. It caught just a little bit. Well, it's trying to caulk because that stuff's not even. Let's go ahead and get it cut. Bandsaw only cuts so straight, but it's a bandsaw. One more pass and we'll have it square. Down 15 thousandths. Almost. We still got a little bit on this side. Going 20. Oh yeah, that cleaned everything up. Alright. Now we're going to flip it the other way. Now that we've got 2 machine sides, we can clamp down, because you can see where it was really hollowed out from the extrusion process whenever they made the bar stock. We'll get us some actually before I do that, so we're sitting on the parallels, let's go, here's a deburr real quick. About it not setting properly. sure we're going to mill these off. Leave that there handy. So the length of this piece is actually 3 inches, and we need to be 2.125. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we've got a bit to mill off each side. 2-inch 1/1 dowel. We got quite a bit, but that's was the width of the bar stock. So go ahead and actually let me flip this side, the side that I there. That's it. I can feel it. It's still wanting to rock a little bit, but for right now, before we get our thickness, let's go ahead and get the edges. Where is my? Here it is. One more pass just to clean it up. Dial in 10. All right. That peeled out right there. Or I take a grinder, take that little bit of a knob off right there. Alright, it developed a little burr on the corner there. So now what we're going to do is we take some length off this. Let's go ahead and mark our length if we need, and we'll just mill it all off since we got it in the setup here. Set this over here. That out of the way. That out of the way. So 2.125. Let's just get our decimeters and dial in 2.125 and make a scribe mark. And then our width, let's see, it was 1.44. So 1.44, 2.125. So we're 2,900 right there, which we've got to take off. So let's go 2.125. Scribe us a line and we'll get down there close. 2.125. Alright. This will give us a reference line. Okay, we've got it started. For that next, get our pocket scribe out. A line to work up to. Alright. Let me get you guys over here just a little closer. Get my, so you guys can see what I've got going on here. I'll try to get you up close and personal with the action here. I know that light's probably washing things out. That way you guys can see what's going on. And I will move that out of the way down there. Alright. 2.125 and you said 1.4 for 1 inch 400 dowel. very small T-nut. Like this. Alright. I think it's just a little white mark. Here we'll line up on it. And I'm leaving these just a little large above dimension. So as you can see, we're going to have a real small, this is going to be our working part, the part we're going to make. So we've got a lot of material to hog off. I looked around to see if I could get a smaller piece handy, but I didn't have any that was thick enough. So you may see a lot of this on camera. Some of it you may not, but let's go ahead now that we've got two true sides. We've got to do this side. We're just going to work and hog a bunch of this off here. So we'll leave that sticking out past the dimensions. And we're going to do a lot of heavy milling. And this cutter that I'm using, this is an old Niagara cutter that I've had for a while. This is not one of the ones that Seco gave me. This is one that I've had for a while and used quite a bit. But it's an older Niagara cutter, works great. So you can see we've got quite a bit to take off there. We'll move the camera out of the way. Get you guys some good cutting action here, or we'll try to. Alright, got a front row seat. Just some heavy milling action fixing to go on. Kind of get our actually, you know what? I got a lot of milling. Let's turn the flood coolant on, because I'm going to have a lot of cutting to do. Flood coolant on. Get it burped. Get the line burped. Here it comes. So we're going to get set up here. Best setup in the world, but it'll work. Splash guards for this. And I've got it spraying on the material in front of it. That was a pretty heavy cut. That was about a 60 thou. Let's see, let's dial in, let's find 0. Just for shits and giggles. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 200 thou. Nah, I think that's going to be too much. I don't want the stock to jump out of the, let's do 100 thou. I didn't want to get too aggressive and have the material pull up out of the, I get too aggressive and I'll have the material come up out of the vise. That's 100 thou. And I'm just hand feeding it in. And we're running 660 RPM. So that was 100 thou depth of cut, noisy as all get out. Let's do 50 this time, just because it'll go a little quicker and it's not as noisy. Yeah, it doesn't make it about as, there you go. There you go, 50. We'll do 50 thou, that'll work. We'll do 50 thou cuts. 50 thou passes and it's not as noisy. And I can run it a lot faster, okay. Now we'll go another 50. Oh yeah, that's a lot quicker. Not as noisy. Hand feeding this. Alright, I'll back this up where you guys can see how fast I'm I'll move the camera back a little bit. You guys can see how fast I'm hand feeding this. Alright. Kind of give you guys an idea of perspective. So we'll do another 50. There's 50. Actually, let's try that again. Yeah, that's it. No. There we go. That's 50. There we go. No. Lost track. I'm moving my little dial over here. Alright. Alright, let's go 50. 50 thou. Alright, there we go. Not as noisy, not as high-pitched chatter. And you can see I can feed it pretty rapid. Go another 50. Running our flood coolant, doing pretty good. This is where I like that Astro grind. It doesn't smell bad, it works good. And we're chewing through the material pretty good. And we'll dial another 50. You guys can see I'm cranking the handle pretty fast here. Got flood coolant going. Figured out what sounded good. 100 thou would do it, but God, it's noisy. There's another 50. doing a spring pass when I go back. I'll do another 50. And I'm actually feeding this pretty aggressive through here. You guys can see I'm cranking it. I've got about another 100 thou or so to get down to our final dimension. Dial in another 50. Actually, that's 60. Boom. We got stuff flying. How much time we got left? A little bit. All right. One more pass here. We'll leave it a little large for finishing. Alright. Cooling off. I'll show you guys the chip pile we got over here on this side. Yeah, that's a chip pile. Alright. So you can see the amount of chip load we had there, and I was cooking pretty good as far as with the mill. So there you go. Let me back the camera up a little bit. So there we go. Probably getting wind noise from the fans back there. Matter of fact, almost positive you were. So there we go. We're going to get this down to size, and there'll be a part 2. Like I said, Cody said he wanted to see this on video, so we said sure. And we're just going to go through, get it down to size, and we'll get set up. We're going to get our next. We're going to be doing our thickness. After we get our width, then we'll do our thickness, and then we'll do our step cuts. And one of the last things we do is we'll drill and tap for the required hole diameter inside. So there you go. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. This is part 1 of making a T-nut for a quick change tool post for a viewer out there. So if you guys have any projects you'd like to see done on the channel, hit me up. My public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com, sorry, and we'll discuss the particulars. Like I always say at the end of every video, and I truly mean it, take care of yourself and take care of your family, because at the end of the day, remember, you and your family is all you got. So we'll go ahead and keep working on this, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to do the next setup as far as cutting the slots and everything. And see you in part 2. Bye bye.